Raw. You know why I'm here. I had to do it. Had to do it. I had to see what we were going to get. And guess what? You wonderful viewers that are watching me on the tubes, we got exactly what I thought we were going to get. If you don't remember, all the times when we were going to Saudi Arabia, the WWE tries one thing before the show appears in Jeddah. They try to sell this thing out the ass so much they tried too hard and it made the show look like crap when the pay-per-view came out. And guess what? This is what we got right here. When you look at this show, 100%, they were trying their hardest to sell this shit that they're trying to regurgitate on us. And when you look at it, you don't care because they tried so hard and then other things they didn't give a damn about. Why do you want to care? Look, we got Paul Heyman in the beginning. Did he talk well to try and sell Saudi Arabia? To a certain extent, yes. Now we're going to have the KO show this Friday at SmackDown, which is stupid. But this is what they're trying to sell to make it as interesting as possible for Jeddah and the Night of Champions. Then we get Sami Zayn coming out with Kevin. Then we get uh, uh, Imperium. Let me get this straight. Now I'm bringing that match up right now. Imperium, who has been red hot on NXT, where everyone knows Imperium is really good. Gunther looked dominant. Da Vinci and the other partner, I can't remember his name right now, they always looked good on NXT. Moved them to the main roster, what do we get? Not much. Honestly, I didn't expect much from those guys moving up to the main roster along with Gunther. And guess what? They got a six-way match between Sammy, Kevin, and Matt Riddle. And who won? Take a guess. It ain't that hard. Yes, Gunther didn't get the pin. He didn't have to get pinned. But it's not the point. One of the few legit matches that many people would like to see would be this. One of the legit tag teams, which is Imperium, you like to see them win because you like heels. But in this situation, right now, they're getting beaten. They're getting pinned, and they're not going to get anywhere. And I'm finding them soon to be a waste of space. Soon, I don't trust Gunther. I know they're keeping him safe because they want to break the Honky Tonk Man's reign of 2 years, and it's going to come up soon. Gunther will be allowed to keep that title until the Intercontinental reign of the Honky Tonk Man is gone. But do I believe he's going to look great while doing it? No. I believe sooner or later he's going to taper off, and he's going to look like a chicken shit heel. I just don't buy him being able to continue winning the way he has without him sacrificing his integrity. Then let's go to the Viking Raiders versus Alpha Academy. Let me tell you this. Do I like Alpha Academy? Of course I do. Do I like Otis? Do I like Chad? Yes, I do. Do I like the Viking Raiders? No, not really. But you expect that the Viking Raiders, who have been pushed heavily, would not have to job to some type of angle between Otis, Maxine, I believe her name is Maxine, I can't remember her name now, and Chad Gable in their triangle of the maximum male models trying to steal a Otis from Alpha Academy. Really? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but then you're sacrificing the Viking Raiders who really aren't that great, but you've been pushing them. You should be using them, but in the end, you're not doing anything. I'm just saying. Zoe Stark versus a let let me give it to you like this. Did the Vid Pack look good for Zoe? Yes. When it came to Renee Rochelle, no, Candice LeRae. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Renee Rochelle because I kind of wish she was there. Candice LeRae from The Family. No, The Way, not The Family, The Way. I think the reason I'm botching here, I'm forgetting about What they are is that, yes, you're giving Zoe a win. Yes, you're having Nikki Cross help her, well, trying to make Candice LeRae survive this. But then I'm thinking about what that Vid Pack gave us. Do I actually believe a Zoe freaking Stark, who is dominant on NXT to the point of destructive, will she actually get anywhere? No, I'm not buying it. She's winning now, but I don't believe she's going to make it very far, even though she is a Triple H girl. I just don't believe it. Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura. Like them both. Do I believe Shinsuke need to eat a pin here? No. Did I believe Finn Balor had to eat a pin there? No. After all what's been going on with Finn and the Judgment Day, you would think they would keep him strong. And they did. They let him win here, even though Damien had to help him. But then I'm thinking Shinsuke Nakamura, he just came back. He beat The Miz. And there was almost nothing there when it came to that. And seeing that you really need to do something with him. And you let him job to a Finn Balor, even with a dirty one. I don't know if they will push him on Raw. I don't know if they're really going to do anything with him on Raw. What is he doing? Is there going to be a feud between Finn and Shinsuke? Even though they've known each other 15 years, which they announced. I don't know. The number of teams that's going to go after the women's title has now been filled out because of what happened with Raquel Rodriguez going up against Sonya Deville. Now I'm going to say this. You look at Sonya Deville and you look at the Raquel Rodriguez. You look and see who's the better wrestler between the two. It is Sonya. Sonya's a better wrestler than Raquel. Who's got more charisma? Sonya. She's more developed than Raquel is. There's no problem. There's no way you can deny that. The reason Raquel looked really good is because Liv was helping her because of their tag team. And now that Liv has a shoulder injury, she's out. That's the reason why they both relinquished the titles. So by herself, she's not that substantial. I'm sorry if anybody loves her because she's a very beautiful woman. She ain't ugly. To me, personally, if I look at Raquel Rodriguez and Sonya Deville, who do I think is better looking? It's Sonya. Not because she's shorter than Raquel. I don't care if you're tall or short. You just got to look at them for what they are. One is slightly more prettier than the other if you're going by just looks. Curves, let's be honest, Raquel don't have no boobs. She has a bit of a butt, yes, but she got no boobs. And Sonya does. There's another for her. But Raquel's got a better butt. There ain't no lie. And those shoulders make Sonya look like a little child compared when she goes like this. She got shoulders for days. That doesn't mean she ain't a good-looking woman. She wins the match, gets her butt kicked. Then you see the Chelsea Blackheart come out. I know they can call it Chelsea. I'm calling Chelsea Blackheart because we got a Chelsea Green. Can't do Chelsea. She comes out, she joins her. Now she's part of the Fatal 4-Way, which she shouldn't be at all. And it makes you think, do these titles mean anything? No. Particularly that you now have, and they advertise on NXT, 3 times in the show? Literally nothing was mentioned about the NXT Women's Tag Championship. 0 mention. You know why? Because now they become a prop on SmackDown, at least until someone decides, you know what? I think it's time to have the WWE titles with the NXT titles, unify them, and make them the WWE Unified titles for the women. They're going to probably combine them, or the NXT champions will always defend them on SmackDown instead of going back down to NXT, which they could. Maybe they will. But I haven't seen them there yet. We still got another maybe 2 more shows before we really know that they're not coming back. And if they're not coming back and they're not going to defend the titles in NXT, then they're just props. Moving on. Dom versus Apollo. I knew what was about to happen. There was no way that Dominic Mysterio was going to job to Apollo Crews. What's going to happen? There was no way. You already got a Austin Creed, a Xavier Woods already jobbing. There's no way Apollo Crews won't job. He made him look good, but in the end, Apollo, who came in with such height, such all the muscles going like this coming out, got his ass beat due to the fact of interference from Mommy. There you go. I didn't think anything good was going to come for Apollo, and guess what? This is his first loss officially. I'm not surprised. We got our final match, which was Imperium. Well, I actually already talked about that. Let's basically get this over with. What did we get when it came to Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes? Trying too hard. Because throughout this entire show, you could see they were trying to make it as hyped as possible. They were trying so hard and it really didn't accomplish anything. Oh, wait. Maybe I should hold off on that for a second. And let's do a Trish Stratus and a Becky Lynch. I was thinking of doing that last because I do have my thoughts on Trish and Becky. But you know what? Let me do it first. Because it's obvious that Cody and Brock is a little more important. Let me give it to you like this. Contract signing. Did I care? No. Did Trish sound good? No. I've said it before and I'll say it again. She is not into it. I'm not telling you that Trish Stratus has ever made a incredible promo. She is not a great promorist. Well, she's not great on the mic. We know that. She can be average, and a lot of times she's below average. There's no one that's lying about it. And if anybody says, well, Booker T loves her and Xavier Woods loves her, who give a fuck about both of them? Let's care about us. Look at me. Who cares about them? Unless they're letting her suck their dicks. Who gives a fuck? And the way she came out dressed, you see all of those Trish Stratus titty. I'm just saying, look, if you want to know that Vince is there, if you want to know that Vince is contributing to the damn show, look at what Trish was wearing. I don't care if you like it or not. I am not telling you that Triple H books great. He does not. But when you look at compared to NXT, compared to this, he does not over-sexualize his women. He tries to make it about them wrestling. Yes, there are a few of them that do have a sexualized look. But did Trish need to come out where the tits can come out and you just want to milk them? Yes. Those tits, they were magnificent. But did they need to be that pronounced when it comes to Trish Stratus, even as a heel? No. Vince is the only one that cares it like that, not Triple H. I'm sorry, that's the truth. It doesn't mean there ain't points when he doesn't do sexualized stuff too. Let's be honest. But this was Vince. And when you look at a Becky Lynch, what the fuck was on her eyes? This was on her eyes. Or is it this? Was it this? Or was it this? I can't remember. Those were the most stupid coming out in white high heel boots. Crazy. Not bad. She actually looked pretty good. But those damn glasses, and I'll probably put in the damn thumbnail if I got a shot of it. What the serious fuck was that? That was the most stupidest. This was on her eyes. Hands. Not with any frames. It was hands. Glass hands. Or hand glasses. Whatever you want to call it. That was the most stupidest thing you could have seen. I've seen a lot that came from Becky Lynch. She has always done some outlandish shit when it came to her ring attire, when she wanted to look so like a cosplayer who's basically been doing cocaine. Let's be honest. Becky Lynch loves looking like a cocaine-driven cosplayer. There's no way that a regular cosplayer who takes their craft seriously would dress like a Becky Lynch who just comes out with the most stupidest shit. But she does it. And this time she's got some weird-ass glasses that makes you wonder. Beer goggles is looking like great compared to that. You know what I mean? But when it came to their promos, when it came to talking on the stick, you can hear clearly that Trish was not into it. Look, as I said, Trish is not great on the mic. She can just be average to most of the time a bit below average easily. This one, you can just hear it in her voice. She didn't barely care about doing it. She's not into it. I can hear it in her voice. Once she brings out the Canadian accent, yep, she was talking, bringing out her Canadian accent. She didn't give a fuck anymore. She was just doing it like she would if she was just talking to somebody. And you could tell when she's into it, there's no Canadian accent in there. None. This one she did because she didn't give a fuck. It was boring. It sucked. But then when you hear Becky's talk, it was vastly better. And understand, it wasn't great either. But it was a much better promo than you heard from a Trish Stratus. In the end, both of them signed their contract and they're both done. But I will tell you this. Did any of that actually look like it could have pissed off Trish? If she was a conceited bitch in real life, a little bit, yes. Saying pretty much what I got, and this is Becky, what I got, I don't even need to worry about. I didn't need to get on all fours and bark like a dog, which she did in a segment years ago, doing whatever she needed to get ahead that they told her to do. The only thing they didn't say was, well, she didn't say, and that's Becky, you know, next to Melina having to suck some dick to get somewhere, I'm sure you did a little bit of that yourself. Not saying she did in real life, but let's be honest, most women back in the middle 2000s, they had to play a little bit of ball. And I'm not saying it's right, but there were a few that would kiss ass and do some stupid shit. Melina did that. Mind you, I don't hate Melina, but at least honesty needs to be stated. To a certain extent, she did on some podcasts talk that she had to do certain things. At least a little bit of talking about having to do whatever she needed to do to get ahead. Because it was not easy for women back in the middle 2000s or early 2000s to be able to get ahead. And you can see that Becky was implying that a little bit. And if you had a real conceited bitch and real Trish Stratus, she would have been a little pissed off. With those titties looking like this. So, this is what you get. Finally, they tried too hard. 3 segments with Brock Lesnar. Well, 2 segments with Brock Lesnar. 3 segments with Cody. First segment before the show aired, they said they recorded it. Brock beat the crap out of Cody. He had to go in the back due to the fact that supposedly empty, whacked him on his left arm and he was incapacitated. His arm was messed up. And when you get that little bit of, and when you talk about the segment with Brock, you got to bring up a little bit of a Mustafa Ali saying, you know what, everyone doesn't believe I'm going to beat Gunther. No one can believe it, but I have not gotten anywhere. And he pretty much got cut off by Brock saying, shut up. Man up. That's what he said. Pretty much roughly. Man up. Shut up and man up. And he goes out, gives a open challenge because Cody ain't going to be doing anything. Says in the very opening, so Hershey, Pennsylvania, what do you want to talk about? What did I say about it getting tired? Now they're trying to make a joke out of it. Cody comes out. Instead of staying in the back, iced up, comes out, takes off his sling, pretty much get into a fight, get into Kimura. Now supposedly he has a broken arm. Supposedly. Because when it was all said and done for the rest of the show, you got the last segment, which was the 3rd time we saw Cody. This time, God, Triple H comes out to make this even mean more than anything else. No Vince. It's got to be Triple H since he is technically the one who's running Raw and SmackDown, which he's not. He's still following orders from Vince. Even when he can do something, Vince will override his ass and tell him what to do. So, he's telling Cody he needs to check his arm because Cody refuses to let them check it because he knows it's broken. Supposedly broken. And Triple H is trying to tell him, you're the most toughest guy I've ever seen. Working with a torn pec in Hell in a Cell. I've never seen anybody do that. You don't have to prove anything. Let me bring the people in and check it. And he's telling him, look, you know and I know. I can see from that. There's no way it isn't broken. And there's no reason to be afraid. And Cody took offense to it. I am not afraid. I am ready to fight. I got two working legs. I am ready to go in that damn ring, and I'm not going to go anywhere but into that damn ring. And he starts packing. Triple H pats him on the leg, and pretty much he doesn't say, "You're suspended," unless you get checked. Because they can't. If they want this to go on, they can't. He cannot suspend him until he gets checked. He has to let him go through this, even with a broken arm. So, what does this mean? They tried so freaking hard to make this. Guys, we're having this match on a show that's going to air at 1 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. A lot of people may be home at that time, many might not. The question is going to be, is it going to be a good show? Most of it will probably be alright. But let's be honest. Do I care about Cody and Brock? No. We still don't have a stipulation. If it was a stipulation match, like a Falls Count Anywhere match, or a No Holds Barred match, or a non-sanctioned match, which would make the best sense. Look, Cody's hurt, and Triple H could have said simply, "I can't let you wrestle. Either you let them check, I'm not going to let you wrestle. You can't until you're checked." He said, "You're hurt, I can't let you wrestle." He says, "I will wrestle even if it's non-sanctioned." And he says, "Then give it to me." He says, "I can't let you wrestle an official match. Then give me a non-sanctioned match." That's where you can hear, "Fight me." Fight. Understand, with Brock Lesnar, he's screaming at Cody, "Fight me, fight." And you see this with no stipulation. What the fuck is that? They're going to have a standard match where Cody supposedly have a messed up arm, when the only way this is going to work is either a steel cage, Falls Count Anywhere, No Holds Barred, or, which makes the best sense under the situation where Cody has been jumped multiple times by Brock. He now has a messed up arm that he's not allowed to wrestle, and he's going to be wrestling with a messed up arm. It should be a non-sanctioned match. Unless they're going to announce it at Jeddah, they're not going to announce it, and it makes it feel empty. When it comes to the development for the tag match between Solo, Roman, and the tag champs, do I care? Only thing I'm wondering, is it going to be Jay that is going to screw over Roman? Because the feeling is it should be Jay who do it, but the way that Vince and everybody else is going to book it, and I don't care if this is Triple H booking, I don't care if it's Vince booking, or both of them that agreed that the Usos should screw over Solo and Roman Reigns, or try to mess up a Sami and Kevin, and they still screw over Roman and Solo. This still has to be about Jey Uso. It makes no sense if they got to use Jay and Jimmy in this capacity against the Bloodline, when it comes really down to it. This is about Roman losing control of the Bloodline. If he loses control, there needs to be a new leader. The new leader should be Jey Uso, because he's been presented the best out of anybody other than Roman, but they probably won't go there. If this doesn't lead to that, the Bloodline storyline is trash. Because if you're going to make it about the Usos going against Solo and Roman, it's not going to mean anything. Breaking up the Bloodline means nothing. He still will be considered head of the table by his own family. The only way to end it is to have a new head of the table. It's got to be one of them. It's got to either be Solo, Jay, or Jimmy. That makes the best sense. But do I believe they will go there? No, they probably will not. And then we're going to get a story between the four of them, which will be about the tag belts, which really isn't good enough. The storyline for the Bloodline needs something better. It's got to be singular, one-on-one. Roman has to face someone to make the Bloodline truly change or truly break up. And it should not be a tag match. It should be a singles match between him and the very first disciple of the Bloodline, Jey Uso. But that's just me. Peace.